Right, okay.
Hi, this is my professional practice presentation. I'm going to be going over my project 1, which is the Asset Pack project, and project 2, which is the game dev. Yeah. Project 1, which is the Asset Pack, I'm going to split it down into 5 sections. 1, strengths and weaknesses when beginning the task, organization and time management, development of skills for the project, and what I did enjoy with the task, and lastly, my problem solving. So, yeah. Strengths and weaknesses to going in. I really love doing architecture design. Since secondary school, I picked up the hobby of sketching out different designs of houses, which I haven't done for a while, but I still enjoy doing it. Web design, I had some experience doing web design, so I think my layouts of my designs can be really nice looking. Communication, I'm talkative. I never shut up, so I think that's one of the best, one of my strengths and weaknesses, but I consider it more of a strength than a weakness. Weaknesses, I have no skills in any of the softwares we learned to begin with. Maya, I never even heard of it. I thought it was a woman when we first mentioned it. And lack of confidence in these softwares. So new softwares scare me, so I was a bit worried about using them. So next. Research. Researching different types of structures was interesting. I was working with Blaze on this project, and I decided to look into Greek because I am obsessed with Greek mythology. Anything Greek I love. So we decided to look at Greek and dystopian, but throughout researching we found that doing Greek and dystopian was a bit too simple because Greek and dystopian already exist technically. And we looked into a medieval theme, so we started looking at Germany and other areas of the world. And then for setting, we looked at a desert, because we thought it could be interesting to make a sandstone themed castle, which hasn't really been seen before. Next. Creating ideas and designs, mood boards. I made the dystopian future mood board, looking at firstly a Mad Max theme for it, because I absolutely love those movies. So I decided to look at the cars, the buildings, and what kind of dystopian futures they could be. Maybe a frozen wasteland or a nuclear wasteland, like theme from Fallout, which is another thing I looked at. I then moved on to the concept art, as you can see there. Spent about 4 hours making these 2 pieces of concept art from scratch, looking at different locations and a couple of ideas. That was an absolute nightmare to get the detail on, but in the end I managed to get it. Next. Create the models. These were a nightmare. Absolute nightmare to create these models. The first model there, at the top, in the corner, was the drawbridge we designed. And firstly I started by looking at what kind of drawbridge did I create. So I used the concept art and created the drawbridge. I started off by doing a really simple looking castle to get the idea of the scale I wanted, then added more detail to it afterwards. But the problem was that detail, I didn't realize how hard it was to put in Maya, so I started just putting little bits of detail at the top of it to begin with. But yeah, the UVing was awful for this. I used automatic for the whole thing essentially because I had no idea what I was doing with linear, and then but it did work in Substance, so I guess automatic was okay in the end. And then the second model, the medieval tower, which you can see is completed there. I used the concept art as like a base for it, and then moved on to the model. Again, I did the same thing as the drawbridge by firstly creating the tower, the base tower with 2 blocks, and then moving on to creating the more detailed models. Unfortunately, the model was extremely detailed, but I lost about 5 hours of work, so I had to cut back on the design. And I've got my renders here, my normal maps, my towers, base color, and ambient to give it the detail one in Unreal Engine. And then there's a part of my modular house asset I created in the corner. Next. Organization time management. My files were an absolute mess. It's like going through a maze of files. Usually I would end up searching them because my file organization was just terrible. There's a mess of files. For some reason, there's washback documents in my files for no reason. Time management, again, awful. I was up all night for a couple of nights just working away on the last week. And learning the free softwares was extremely difficult. I have some experience with Unreal Engine, but Maya and Substance Painter I have never even heard of in my life. So learning those was both interesting and difficult. So yeah, next slide. Skills developed. My model creation has definitely gotten better throughout this project. I could never even think about creating a model before, but now, thankfully, these are supposed to move, but they don't. Thankfully, now that my model creation has got better, I think that the ideas I made here are really nice. The first model on the left there was the original version of that tower I created, but unfortunately I lost all the progress on it, so it didn't look quite as good when I put it on Unreal. And there's an archway from a couple of workshops, pieces of the modular house that when put together in Unreal Engine with a real house, and could be reused to make different houses and all that good stuff. New software, I love using the new softwares afterwards. I will definitely use these softwares in the future. They were so much fun to use. Maya was just unbelievably, it was just fun to great work with. Yeah, next slide. Problems encountered. Software crashing. My PC isn't the best at home, so the amount of times my software crashed, essentially maybe had like a mental breakdown in my house. And then how do we start the models, do UVs breaking? The first version of the house wasn't actually modular, it was just a regular house that I created. Then after the UVs went so horribly wrong, I had to duplicate the house about several times. It was just broken beyond repair. And then texturing issues were encountered throughout. I tried using Photoshop at the beginning, but I had no idea what I was doing with Photoshop, so my models just looked like stretched nightmares that you would see. It was just horrible looking. Okay, next. What do I enjoy about this task? Learning the new software, as I said before, was really interesting. I do like learning new things, and going over the obstacle of learning these new softwares was really interesting. Concept art, I absolutely loved concept art, trying out new architecture ideas, picking up old skills, and trying out new landscape ideas of concept art for land was really fun. The texturing created some outcomes that were unexpected, but intriguing, like using the veins in substance to create vines, which was stuff like that was fun to innovate with. The amount of software errors and file corruptions was really frustrating. I have never been so stressed about softwares in my life, so that was just an absolute nightmare, but I got over it in the end. Next. Project 2, which is the game development. I'm working with Blaze and Elliot. Sorry. Organization and time management, development of skills, problem solving, and what did I enjoy and not enjoy about this task? Similar to the last project. Next slide. My role in Project 2. My main role is interactive developer using Unreal Engine and other software, mainly Unreal Engine to create the level. Main menu creation, as you can see there, our game was called Oiran. I was tasked with creating the main menu, which the background was actually used in the start of this project, which took me about 10 hours to create, it was really fun to create. Unreal Engine, as I said before. Yeah, next slide. Organization and time management. My time management skills in this project has improved significantly compared to the last project. My blogs are coming out a lot quicker than previously. I'm not so stressed about the amount of time I have left. My organization wasn't as good as it could be, as my files are still a mess in certain folders, but they've gotten better. My team and I were incredible. My team so far, we've had no problems so far. They were incredible. Next slide. And development skills. My art skills have improved a lot in this whole project. I've been testing out new art style, which is a dry map at the corner from the research from one of our workshops, and then a landscape art I made, which I've never even done before. I've never even touched landscape before, so I was really nervous about that. But once I created it, I was extremely happy with the outcome. My teamwork skills have developed significantly with my team. Usually I would just like to go solo on most projects, but in this project, I thought teamwork was just great. Software skills. My Unreal Engine and Adobe After Effects skills have improved a lot. I'm sort of experienced in Adobe, but not the After Effects software, only Adobe Animate. And Unreal Engine I have some experience in, but again, the experience I've gained from this whole project has been really incredible. Next slide. The problems encountered. The balancing of work and timing. Due to the large the project is and the time frame we were given, the amount of work I had to balance along with the time I was given was really hard. And then the Unreal Engine programming was just a headache. It's still a headache. The amount of stuff that's gone wrong. I've had lighting issues. For some reason, it appeared the light of God appeared on my level. It just blinded my character. The animation issues were a nightmare. My skeleton there, I still haven't animated in because of the amount of problems I've had creating it. And lack of time, which I discussed previously. What do I enjoy and not enjoy about the project? A little creative the project allowed me to be. My team and I worked extremely well throughout the project. We were never in disagreement about anything. There was no creative clashes at all. We're all in agreement about everything. I think me and our team works extremely well together as we have common interests. Creating characters and environments gave me more confidence because the art styles I just hadn't used environmental design before, so that gave me quite a lot of confidence. Some of the programs for Unreal Engine was frustrating because of how I didn't know how nodes worked or how the scripting worked. I'm only used to quick Python code just to make a disk go in and out of a computer when I was younger, but that's about it. So yeah, next slide. That's it. Thank you.